Pipe attack. From people with slimy handshakes to a man that survived a car crash with no broken bones, we count 15 real-life superpowers. Number 15. Human magnets. There are many people in the world that claim to have the amazing property to create a magnetic field that causes metal to stick to their skin, which would be amazing if this were actually the case. Of course, their powers aren't limited to metal. They can also get plastic to stick as well, and they don't cause any sort of problems with electronics. Turns out they're not actually magnetic, but instead have incredibly sticky skin, which is simply gross. However, it would be nice to be able to stick your phone to your chest instead of putting it in your pocket, I guess. Number 14. Super memory. Daniel Temmet remembers pi to over 22,000 digits, can speak 10 languages, and has been studied extensively by neurobiologists because he can explain exactly how he does it. Don't get your hopes up though. He can do all this because he has synesthesia, in which he experiences textures, shapes, and colors when he thinks of words and numbers. In one instance, he managed to learn conversational Icelandic in a week and then appeared in an interview speaking the language. Number 13. Mr. Eat-All. Have you ever been so hungry that you ate a whole Cessna plane? How about a coffin? Maybe a computer? If you answered no to all these questions, congratulations. You're a normal person. But you're also not a person with an actual superpower. Michel Latito, also known as Mr. Eat-All, has the ability to consume and, more importantly, shit out just about anything you can think of without harm, including poisonous substances. If the average person ate any of these items, they'd be left with serious health problems, but not Mr. Eat-All, although with that said, he did also die at the age of 57, so his power wasn't exactly perfect. Number 12. Tame wild animals. Kevin Richardson has the ability to tame just about any animal, it seems, as long as he rears them from infancy, which may not sound very impressive at first, but you try and join a pride of lions without any traditional taming methods and see how well that goes for you. Taming big cats isn't all puppy dogs and sunshine. There's quite a serious problem with having a pride of lions treat you as one of their own. For instance, they'll also play fight with you, which, as you can imagine, is quite painful. Number 11. Strongest man in history. Louis Cyr was a classical strongman, except with one major difference. He was better than everyone else by a long shot. During a backlift, he managed to lift just under 2 metric tons. He also wrestled a man around 2 feet taller than him and won. His record-breaking feats have yet to be surpassed by anyone to this day, including those who have taken anabolic steroids. Number 10. The human computer. Shakuntala Devi was an Indian social worker with some pretty amazing mental abilities. Some might call her a genius in mental computing. I, however, would call her a machine from the future that was destroyed in search of Sarah Connor. Shakuntala had the ability to perform mental calculations in blistering speed. For instance, she managed to calculate the cube root of 61,629,875 before the person checking her answers could write her answer down. Number 9. God Hand. Mas Oyama was an amazing example of what the human body could be capable of. He created his own full contact karate, and he has a black belt in 2 different disciplines than just his own. He showed his strength and endurance by killing fully grown bulls with 1 blow and participating in 3 different 100-man fighting competitions in a row, in which he fought off 100 trained karate masters a day for 3 days straight. Number 8. Iceman. Wim Hof doesn't just have a whimsical name, he also has the ability to withstand insanely low temperatures that would kill most people were they exposed to them for the length of time he puts himself through. Iceman ran a marathon in -20 Celsius, -4 Fahrenheit weather in nothing but a pair of shorts. He also attempted to climb Mount Everest in the same attire, but couldn't make it all the way up because of a foot injury. He also holds the world record for the longest amount of time spent submerged in ice. Number 7. Tetrachromacy. Conchetta Antico is an artist, but very few people will be able to appreciate her work. This is because she sees 100 million colors, whereas the average person can only see around 7 million. When looking at what most people would call a green leaf, she sees orange, violet, turquoise, and blue, and what she describes as a mosaic of color. Interestingly enough, it is theorized that only females can be tetrachromats because the gene that dictates how many colors you can see is directly related to the X chromosome. But this gene doesn't always seem to carry on as her daughter is colorblind. Number 6. Ultra endurance. Humans have the potential to be the best marathon runners in nature. However, Dean Karnazes is better than the average person could ever hope to be. Karnazes has run a 350-mile or 560-kilometer marathon in 80 hours without any sleep. He also ran a marathon a day for 50 consecutive days. His ability to run is due to having superb muscles that simply don't tire the same way most people's muscles do. So it's not just a matter of simple training. Number 5. Heat through meditation. A small group of Tibetan Buddhist monks have an astounding ability to control the temperature of their fingers and toes, raising them 8.3 degrees Celsius or 15 degrees Fahrenheit. All of this is done without raising their internal temperature, which if raised by the same amount would lead to a deadly fever. This ability is common in bees, but was considered impossible in humans until the monks proved their abilities in a laboratory. Number 4. Human echolocation. Blindness is a horrible thing to have to go through, but not everyone lets it get to them. People like Ben Underwood have rewired their brains through training to allow themselves to see through echoes, much like a bat does at night. It isn't known whether or not this ability is available to all of us, but it is known that it's very unlikely to be something that a person who retains the ability of sight could know. This is because the areas of the brain associated with sight get rewired to work with sound in those with the ability of echolocation. Number 3. Super strong bones. A man codenamed John was in a serious car accident in 1994. They rushed him to the hospital, but the doctors were surprised to find that he had no broken bones. Perplexed by this, they looked at what went right and found that he had much denser bones than normal. Not only that, he has no negative side effects apart from the fact that he sinks when in water. Others with this perk have been found. None of them have ever had a broken bone, and doctors have been unable to implement hip replacements because it was too difficult to drill into their bones. Number 2. Super reflexes. Modern-day samurai Isao Machi has an astonishingly fast reaction to the world around him, especially when he holds his sword. Isao has appeared on television to perform his most amazing feat, cutting a BB gun pellet, which should be impossible if relying on sight and sound alone. It appears he has an incredibly advanced sense of intuition, which is just a way of saying we really don't know how it's possible for him to do this. Number 1. Super body. Ever wish you had a body that didn't grow unneeded fat? Well, Liam Hoekstra has the body, and not only that, his body is also incredibly strong. At the age of 3, he has the ability to pick up 2 45-pound dumbbells without any difficulty. So little effort involved, in fact, that he can wave them around like most people would do so with a balloon. Most people that have muscle enlargement also have severe negative side effects, but Liam has none of these problems, thus putting his condition in the incredibly rare and incredibly awesome column. And that's it for this countdown. Okay, bye.